In today's For Your Health, as you know, the warm weather is here and people are outside enjoying summer activities. With the season comes increased risk for injuries to the brain and spine, but there are opportunities to stay safe that are good for everyone to know about. Dr. John Whapham, a neuro-endovascular surgeon and neuro-intensivist, and Clay Thomley of SAMC Rehabilitation and Physical Therapy are here with us this morning to talk to us about the summer brain and spine trauma. Good morning, guys. Thank you for being here with us.
Morning.
Well, Clay, start us off. What is specific about the summer months to the brain and spine?
Well, in the summertime, unfortunately, we see an uptick in brain and spine injury. Most times, people are on the road more often than normal. People are on vacation. A lot of things start with, here, hold my drink and watch this. So unfortunately, it's a time of year where we see more of these kind of accidents. Gotcha.
Well, speaking of more of these accidents, and you have some props here, what exactly are some common brain injuries with, like, using these that you could show?
So Dr. Whapham's going to talk about some brain injuries. I wanted to talk about some spine injuries here. Unfortunately, spinal cord injury is very prevalent during the summertime months. The CDC estimates that roughly 200,000 Americans are living with disabilities related to spinal cord injuries, with at least 11,000 new cases per year.
Wow.
Now, most of the time these are caused by motor vehicle accidents, especially in those under 65 years of age. And people over 65 years of age, it tends to be a fall at home that causes the accident.
Gotcha. And then what are some specific ages that are at risk or with these kind of things?
So over 65, we talked about kind of fall. It tends to lead to the mechanism of injury, and under 65, it tends to be motor vehicle accidents, people driving without a seatbelt on, or, you know, again, the hold my drink theory, putting your car in a place where it's not supposed to be.
Gotcha. Well, that's the spine. Then, Dr. Whapham, what about the brain?
Yes, unfortunately, the other big category that we see a lot of times in the summer months are traumatic brain injuries. Traumatic brain injuries, the other big topic and subcategory of summer trauma to the brain and spine. And we estimate that, according to the American Academy of Neurologic Surgeons, about 1.4 million traumatic brain injuries occur each year. Certainly an uptick in the summer. That category is kind of subdivided into about 250,000 hospitalizations and about 50,000 deaths a year. So it's a big issue. The numbers tell us that about somewhere in the neighborhood of 78% of traumatic brain injury tends to be male. Go figure. We do dumb things in the summer. The rest are female, obviously, and the other category that's common to see is injuries that involve trauma from missile injury, explosives around the 4th of July, also anything involving motor vehicle. And the biggest category really is motor vehicular accident. Again, 70–80% of these injuries or summer brain traumas will revolve around motor vehicles, and that's where a lot of the safety precautions we're going to talk about this morning can come in.
Gotcha. Well, then what exactly can people do to stay safe with something like with both the spine and the brain?
I'm going to let Clay handle the spine first.
Most important thing when we talk about spine is wearing your seatbelt in the vehicle. A forward head-on collision tends to cause excessive flexion of the spine, which can sever the spinal cord. And then when we talk about extension injuries from a fall from a height, you know, a tall height, falling down, a heavy extension injury can also cause a spinal cord injury. So basically wearing your seatbelt and staying off of things that are way off the ground is a good first step.
Gotcha. And then the brain?
And I was going to mention also good water safety precautions as well. Swimming and diving, we get a lot of injuries in the summer to the cervical spine with people just not paying attention to where they're diving and what they're diving into. With traumatic brain injury, helmets. Again, with the biggest category, 70–80% being closed head injury and open head injury from motor vehicular accidents. Certainly a huge reduction in helmets. There are great DOT helmets out there for use, and we encourage people with any motor vehicular sport to go ahead and think about helmet use. The brain, obviously, in a closed space that is not very forgiving when it's jostled inside the closed cavity of the skull. We have a lot of injuries that revolve around shear force and movement of the brain within the skull, as well as injury to the blood vessels that lie on the surface of the brain or lie between the covering of the brain and the skull. Common injuries include concussion from sports, subdural hematomas, epidural hematomas, and traumatic brain injuries called diffuse axonal injury.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us. Definitely important information.
You're welcome.
Well, some of us saw rain yesterday, but will you need an umbrella today? Evan is up next with a full check on your forecast. But first, here's a live look from our Alpha Skycam network. You're looking from Troy. News 4 this morning. We'll be right back.